Welcome back to the Delaware Way. I'm Larry Menti. We are with the mayor of Wilmington, Dennis Williams. We continue our conversation about jobs, and it's related to the image of the city. And we'll get back to the crime thing in a second, but I read this article where you said you wanted to make Wilmington a little hipper, and that would help create jobs and stimulate the city. Explain that.
Well, one of the things we did a young professionals executive order, and they meet on a quarterly basis, and now we're going to try to push them to come in and meet probably every 30 days. These folks are coming in and they're telling us what young people want, what kind of entertainment they want. And we do have to make Wilmington a little hipper because, you know, young people aren't afraid to go out at night. They have disposable income, and we want to put out there and have things that they want to do. Not baby boomers my age. I'm 61 years old. They don't want to do what I want to do. Right. I mean, they hang out. And we're trying to get these colleges downtown to probably put some dorms in, because kids charge their credit cards up, and who do they send the bill to? Their parents. And we know that. I mean, they want to dance, they want to go out and have fun, they want to look for girls, girls want to look for guys, they want to have dinner, they want to go to the movies, they want to party, and that's what we want.
Yeah, it's not just the college students. I've noticed this as I've walked around downtown Wilmington. You've got all these big buildings, you have these young professionals.
And these are the ones that's on this committee also.
And then they go home.
Yes, but
at
that's
the end
what
of
we
the
don't.
day.
Or they go to Washington, D.C. and Baltimore and Philadelphia, and we don't want that. We want them to stay here and spend their money.
There's been talk in this big casino debate in the state as to why Wilmington doesn't have one. Would it help to have a casino in Wilmington?
I pushed for a casino years ago when I was in the General Assembly. Right now, I'm looking at this. I don't think so. I mean, could it bring jobs? Yes, it could. But how long will that last? I mean, right now, Wilmington is only 60 miles from Dover Downs, and you have 30 miles less to Chester and Philadelphia. I think if you put a casino here now and you're talking about saturation, I think we'd be in trouble. And when I say be in trouble, I think that eventually it would close down, and now you'd have all these folks that are unemployed. Look at Atlantic City. And you would have a big white elephant, is what I'm going to call it. And years ago, I thought it would really thrive and do well. I don't think so.
But the time has passed because of competition?
I think the time has passed, yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it's feasible to put it on the waterfront. I really don't think we need a casino there with all the programs we're having for children now. And everybody there, I don't think it would fit in it. I just don't think
the one thing you can have here that other states can have, because you don't have a professional team, is sports betting.
Yes.
You don't think that would attract the crowd?
I don't think so. And you know what? I'm not going to try to base our income and our budget on gambling, because another man's gold is another man's, I don't know the other end of it. It's misfortune.
But somebody's losing.
Yeah, somebody's losing. And I don't want to do that either, because, you know, the next thing we'll have, you'll probably start having stick-ups in the parking lot, or people running around here trying to, you know, to panhandle and more aggressively. And why do I want to worry about somebody going into the casinos winning money when I know other people are losing on the other end? I don't think so.
You know, we're having this interview about crime in Wilmington to the backdrop of protests across the country about policing in African-American neighborhoods. First of all, let me just get a general thought. As you watch these protests, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's unfortunate. I mean, I watched these protests growing up as a young teenager in the 60s, and to me, we're going wrong somewhere along the line. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. We shouldn't be in the business of having police brutality any longer. I saw a situation this morning on the news where an elderly man had a fictitious tag on his car, and the officer slammed this man. I'm just saying, oh my God, these guys don't realize there's cameras and all here. And I mean, here we got another big story. It'll be on World News tonight, I'm pretty sure. What is going on?
Are you for cameras on your police officers?
Oh, absolutely.
And do you think that DAs should be handling these cases, or should a special prosecutor be brought in?
Well, now you don't want to start having too many hands dabbling in.
How about just high-profile police cases? Because doesn't the DA necessarily have a conflict of interest, because he depends on these police to build their cases? So, and then he's supposed to turn around and prosecute them. Isn't that an inherent conflict? And because of that, I mean, this isn't just me speaking. This is many people saying that they would like to see a special prosecutor brought in on those cases.
Well, they could split the division. I mean, that's what they can have. They can have a division within the Attorney General's office that does nothing but investigate police officers, just like you have an internal affairs unit and you oversee. But you must realize the FBI and everybody comes in, and these FBI agents who pretty much investigate police officers, they don't come from the local jurisdiction. A lot of times they're sent out of Washington, D.C. They don't even have no relationship with most of these police officers. If they think it's getting ready to go south and it's so close for an indictment or a civil rights violation, they bring this team in from Washington, D.C. or other parts of the country, and they start to investigate police. So I don't want people to think overall it's just the grand jury and the local internal affairs unit, because it's not. Because this situation in Ferguson, this gentleman's not out of the woods yet.
I want to continue this conversation when we come back. We're going to be wrapping things up, and I want to talk about you personally, and if you're, I know you wanted this job all your life. Now that you have it, if you're glad you have it, when we continue our conversation with Mayor Dennis Williams.